games between Anton and Michael here. So round one is Arabia. We got Frank's pick versus Japanese. Let's get to start. What's interesting? Forward berries, interesting. Forward gold, also interesting. Is cute little guy in blue, also very interesting. Okay, let's zoom back out. Time to be serious. um, bum bum. I would try and have your second one kind of on deck under the TC. The only other thing I'd also comment is having them generally closer. I've definitely had in earlier games people run by the scout and scoop like 5 or 6 sheep, which are just chilling a little ways away. I think it also kind of adds to the APM you need to have to like be on time to bring that sheep in. So I think learning to use shift queuing and having a sheep on deck is going to free you up a bit of APM to do other things. With this lumber camp, I put it in here, but that's all good. The other thing you could also look at doing as you free up some APM and whatnot is to use some sheep to do scouting. Because you'll find that if you do this inner circle among these sheep, your scout will have now already done these outer circles and you will have found your res a lot sooner. Like, let's come over here. Let's see how much Michael's done. I don't know if you use sheep scout. I think you've done a little bit more. Didn't do that right. Yeah, so maybe it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think you've done a bit more here, and so maybe that's from sheep scouting, maybe that's from being more active with scout. I'm not sure, but definitely even if you just scout with like 1 or 2 sheep, it doesn't have to be with all 3 initially. They're just good for building. Ooh, yeah. And so these guys should be just taking the sheep instead of waiting for this to come in. But all good, just things to practice and make your eco a little bit smoother. Because you'll probably end up having a bit of idle time after this villager here, unless if you can force drop enough to get these guys going. Yeah, all good. Okay, I'm gonna switch back and critique Michael in a bit too, but the other thing I'd mention is try and think about where your natural walls are, and I'd say given the map, these houses should be like here or here, so you can close this whole forest section up. So I think that'll be your more natural walls. And then I would just make sure that this is actually touching the berries, probably like right in this spot here. All right, what's going on here? Did you self-lame yourself a little bit with the Vil? But good timing on bringing this in. 30 food left, that's good. 3, oh, look at you, you're cutting the inside ones. Someone listens to me. Oh, is this love? Don't idle your TC though while you're doing your lure. And I don't know, man. Like, everyone seems to be super keen on having 7 on the board. I'm like 8, 9, 10, and just like, you know, get it in there. This is okay. But the one thing I think about is trying to bump it out, either out a little bit to give you the ground here, or if you're going to open men-at-arms, try and guess more where your forward side's going to be. And I would say in here is way more likely to be your forward side than here, because the chances of him being, you know, up in this zone is pretty small. But like somewhere on the map here, way better. So instead of having your units having to like walk through, you could just start the building, like say on this corner of the woods here. And then it helps to shield your gold a bit. You can get a natural wall here, and another important wall be coming down the side here. But at least you're still walling. But again, like when possible, you know, put the barracks up here and then house. And you get yourself more space. I think it makes life a little easier for you. But you guys are looking both pretty good on the idle TC time. Only a little over Vil, which is good. It definitely looks like you're going some kind of men-at-arms build with the early on gold. Are we gonna start queuing them up? You're gonna need to force drop some food here. I feel like you're light on wood, but then again, this is your 18. Oh, this is your 18 pop build, so it's gonna be straight archers. So that's good. All right, how's this looking over here? 4 or 5 on berries is good. 3. I feel like you're probably opening scouts, so I think what you really want is to get 5 and probably 4 on wood here. Because ideally you want your sheep to last a little bit into feudal age. So you have time to get in horse collar, double bit axe and stuff before you start dropping farms. And to kind of achieve that while building your stable and your houses, you're going to need probably more. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, if you can, I'd split them to so there's 5 and 4. But it doesn't really matter if one camp has 6, or in this case 7. But I would try and bring that sheep back here too. Okay, scout. Oh, so you are doing men at arms. Okay. Okay. Oof. God, you've not got an attack ordering at all, eh? Oh, I don't like this, dude. Range here, house here. You don't want to... You're basically walling out a secondary wood line, which I'd say is a loss here. Okay, barracks. Gonna come up about on time, it looks like. And the other advantage of having these houses here is you would have gotten an early warning, potentially, if you saw those guys coming around. Ooh, and the farms before feudal, I'm not a fan, just because, yeah, you get free horse collar when you get up. If you just delayed them 10 seconds, you get an extra 100 food on each one, or whatever the number is. Yeah, so now these farms, like, you're giving up free resources here. Okay, and also because you put the farms up, you don't have any res for a stable, so now you're doing men-at-arms, which you're not set up for, and you can only get 2 of them out, because you have no one on gold. Okay, now we're getting stable. I'd say don't even bother with these guys, because he's also got men-at-arms. Unfortunate about the sheep, they're just chilling, because you probably could use that food to delay the farms. Yeah, I'd say maybe just a little bit of Dark Age practice, because one of the things you can do, of course, is like getting those sheep bills straight to stragglers. Oh no, the sheep lamed you from getting the palisade down. Oh no. Guy, this guy's just gonna die. You need to pull these bills, or fight. Fight with all of them, or pull. Okay, the quick wall, can you get the next one? Okay. You just need to start fighting this or running. One of the two. Fight or run, but don't let him kill you for free. Oh no. Oh, disaster. Yeah, and now he's here with the archers. Yeah, so I think sooner to wood, from as soon as you have like your bills enough to click up the feudal from bills on sheep, then like get your wood balance set up. And one thing you can also do is as soon as your sheep bills are done here, waypoint and start taking these stragglers. Because ideally you do want to take these so that you can get... There's actually a really nice clean shape you can do to put your farms around your TC. And since it's early game, you should kind of have the time to like, oh, don't waste your scout. No. Don't send them in one at a time. Wait, so you probably need 4 before you can take this on. These are just free kills here. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a shame that you're losing so many units for free. I think what you want to do is waypoint them in your stable and let them build up here. Because like right now, you don't, like this one scout does nothing against this whole group, so you don't want to fight it. I don't know where this bill's going, but yeah. You need to really make sure that you're not taking these really unequal fights, because your scout's just going to go down so quick. And not really do itself justice here. I'd say at this point, what you want is maybe a tower like here, and then you have a safe wood. But I think this is probably already GGville based on just the imbalance in units here. Oh, imbalance in eco here, because yeah, 8 vills lost at this point is pretty tough to bounce back from. Michael's kind of jankily walling, but still walling. Ooh, this is Auk. He's going to walk all the way around to do that one. But whatever. Yeah, this is good, but again, man, I'd just get yourself that little bit of ground. It costs you almost no extra wood to do it. And the number of scouts you toss to Anton by just bringing them in one at a time. I think one of the biggest fundamental skills in AoE is just how to delay. You know, just try and like buy time so you can get those 3, 4, 5 scouts that you need to actually take the fight and like win. Because if you just trickle units in, they just get eaten. And unfortunately, scouts are expensive units too. But yeah, I think maybe these 2 houses here and a little bit of walling would have given you a bit of early time to see that that was coming in. But yeah, I think there's just a little bit of room just to have a bit of a cleaner scouts build in the first place. But then of course, you know, dealing with the pressure, it's a whole another game here. Okay, you're kind of doing some walling. Okay, you're starting to clear it up. Now you need to get these units together. I think with just the 1 each, you can't take this fight, but with 2, you might be okay. Michael, a lot of idle ETC time, bud. You got the food, man. You could queue up a shitload of bills. I'm hoping you're gonna click castle in a moment here. I mean, you just force drop this and you'd probably be on your way. Good, I'm still getting upgrades despite all the pressure. Okay. Yeah, with 4, forget the other one, get the 4th, and actually, if unfortunately forgotten, if you could bring this guy home, you could probably take this fight here. Because yeah, at this point when you have numbers and he just has archers by themselves, you really want to trade because knowing that you're behind and knowing that he's going castle likely soon, the more of those you can kill, the better. So, I mean, it's good that you're walling. It would be better if you were kind of walling out this side, but whatever. And maybe not just curving here, but actually going straight down to the edge, because you don't really want to wall this gold out of your base. Oof, okay, so this is definitely a commitment to never going to cast if you're getting armor at this point. And if you're getting armor, you should definitely be preparing to take this fight. Oh, and don't 1v1 a spear. Yeah, you should be going not this way, you should be going this way, because these 7, that's a cleanup you can do. This is not a fight you want. I mean, you won, but I think really the big threat is these archers. And now I'd say this group is probably too big for you to take, and especially now that he's got the padded armor in, whereas he used to not have it. But I think you should still take it since you got the armor, you might as well fight. The armor did nothing to help you against the spears, but will help you against these archers. So with 5 scouts, it's not great, but I think you need to do something about this, because assuming he's on top of his game, in about... Now that you got that noise, you know it should be about 30 seconds to Expo and Bodkin. Yeah, okay, there it comes. So now, as soon as that clicks in, this group is unfightable for the units you have. Ooh, okay, forced into an extra lumber camp. That's not ideal at all. When you could have just taken this fight. Where's Bodkin, Michael? What are you doing? There it is. Okay, now 30 seconds of time. You should probably be coming in here on stand ground. Oh, okay, okay. It's probably a little too late, but we'll see, we'll see. You managed to catch up in eco. I think that's just because Michael was going to castle. Okay, this is going to be a bad fight, I think. Are we getting some micro? Yeah, but I assume once these go down, it's going to be GG here. Yeah, I think you would have done a whole lot better if you'd gone like a minute or so ago. Alright, let's just zip through this. I don't think there's much more to be coached here. I assume it's just going to be a bit of a slaughter at this point. So one thing I'd say, Michael, is especially in this case, don't bother the second TC. Like, go forward siege. That's a much stronger play. Especially when you know for sure you've got an eco advantage already. Like, you know you kill lots of bills. So, assuming you have equal idle TC time, or hopefully in your case no idle TC time, you know that you have an eco lead. Especially if your opponent's not in castle, it's like, you know, just finish the game. There's no point booming. It doesn't really help you here. There it is. Wait, did you say GG first? I hope you guys were talking on Discord. That's so weird. Oh man. Yeah, so I think for both of you, like Michael, 18 pop bill is pretty tight, but I think he executed it pretty well. And then for Anton, there's just a couple like small things to make your life a little easier by, not really worrying about bringing the sheep in one at a time, just doing the shift queuing. And then taking a couple extra seconds for like building placements and thinking about where you want to wall versus not. Because I think your base actually is pretty nicely set up for sort of natural walls. So like a natural one here, eventually one down here, and then probably one across the top, and then one straight down the side here. Those are probably your ideal walls to go for. And the high priority ones are going to be this one across the front is the number one priority. Probably this side is the second priority. You could also do this one a second instead. But whichever one you choose to do second, make sure your army is guarding the third one so that you have either your troops rallying here or your troops rallying here. Because once you're walled here, there's no threat for troops coming through. So you just have to have your troops in another spot, which makes sense. And then yeah, in this case, I wouldn't have curved in. I would have just, well, actually, you know what? This is your prime one. Because that just gives you another safe wood, keep your gold pretty safe. And if you're worried about getting this one walled, then you can just do a short wall just up here and just tight to your TC. And then just have your troops here when you're ready. And then I guess the other thing is just, yeah, trying to take good fights with those scouts instead of, especially with the mobility of scouts, there's just no reason to take a fight where it's like a 4v1 or something. I mean, if you've got the 4 scouts to 1 minute arms, totally take it. But, when he's got the troop numbers on you, you really don't want to fight. All right, let's hop into this next game, which is an arena one. Kelce, Michael. Interesting. Interesting. Everyone's doing their thing here. Tired today. Yeah, I definitely understand the appeal of Arena. However, I'd say for general improvement, I'd say starting on Arabia is probably better. Just because I think the walls of Arena give a bit of an ability to hide behind some of your early game weaknesses, which Arabia really doesn't. Boy. I'm curious if you've shift queued here, if we're gonna all of a sudden see like just a garbage slaughter here when this one finishes. I'll check back in a moment. Yeah, I'd say these could be a lot closer, like right here maybe, and then this extra one just like right here. So it's just a shift queue, boom, and just keeps it quicker. And then yeah, I just take an extra moment to put this lumber camp like right in there. It's just gonna do and just try and figure out what your finesse is to get the timing right on this. Because yeah, you really don't want this time here. Although Michael's throwing you a bone by idling for a bunch anyways. Because now you're gonna have to idle here until you can force drop this food. And this unfortunately is just a huge well, not a huge disaster, but it's just unfortunate to, have that essentially unforced idle time. But it looks like Michael must have done something similar here. The other thing you can do, especially for Arena, is if you can be timely on it and put those houses along the front here, you can start to build like natural walls in case of a castle drop as well. Whereas this doesn't really give you any like walling potential. Okay, I don't know. Just put that building like right touching the berries. It's just better long-term efficiency. Same, Michael. I'd say in one of these two flat spots. I'd say this is probably your primo spot right in here. Yeah, that looks about optimal. Oof. Yeah, and your board timing's gonna sus too. But at least you're taking another goose instead of having your guys not working, which is good. And what food are you losing on this one? 41, whatever. One thing you can do here is like shift Q, so 4 of them start on this, then come back to this guy. But make sure you shift Q or else they're gonna start murking your guys. And if you can catch this, bring them onto the right side of the mill. Okay. 9 to TC, 1 on berries, 5 on food. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is unfortunate timing. So one other thing you can try and do is do a move command with your vills first. So especially if you're coming up from this way, you want to move your vills to about here so that your villager can run under here and ideally have that board die under the TC. I'd still probably send most of your vills to quickly try and take these 2 geese and then go onto the board just to try and minimize the loss of like food to rot. Because especially right now you're sending vills to berries, but they could be going onto these ones just to make sure you don't lose food there. But whatever, not the end of the world. You're both floating similar idle time. Okay, the mill, I like it. Are you gonna do the same or what? Ooh, bud, let's do that better building placement in the future. So that's a lot of walking time already. I'd say it's fine to be on this side to do the lumber camp. Although I question why you need so much wood already. Because I feel like you're going to need way more on food if you're going to click up anytime soon. Because you probably want to be clicking up in about 4 bills. And okay, 14's looking okay. But yeah, I feel like the second lumber camp, I don't know, maybe I don't remember how arena builds work anymore, but it seems early to me. Because yeah, you're going to have a ton of wood before you even click up the feudal. I think you need like 350, maybe a bit more for your 2 feudal age buildings to click up. Wow, 22 bills, that's a tight castle age. I didn't realize that was super possible. It looks like you're in okay shape. How much food do you have here? 1, 2, 300 more coming in, plus your berries. Yeah, it should get you there. Looks like you're gonna do it on your farms as well, which is solid. I almost wonder if you'd be better off like skipping this lumber camp and just putting those 2 bills on this one, and then you can have your TC there when you click up. Okay, there's the farms. Interested to see if you have enough. I suspect you're gonna need to build more than 2 bills here before you can click up. Unless if you got some feudal age plans, but being Celts, I assume you want an FC into sort of siege push. Yeah, here I'd take a bit more time with your farms, and also based on when you're building them, you're not in feudal yet, so you're missing out on like your key Franks bonus here. I'd delay these and have your villas like just chop stragglers so that you can like cleanly place your farms in here. The other thing with farm placement is this farm here is placed perfectly, and this farm here should be touching, and this farm needs to be 1 tile over, so that this farm, yeah, basically what you want to do is how you place this farm, you want to place your next farm there. Is it there? No. You have 1 flush there, 1 flush there, and 1 flush here, and then that'll offset all the other ones. You get like a perfect spread, and you have no tile gaps around your TC, if that makes sense. Because there's basically a 4 tile width here. So you want 1 right in the corner, and the next one hanging over by 2 tiles. So this one can come down 1, this one will go perfectly flush, this next farm in here will be over by 2 tiles, perfectly flush farm, over by 2 tiles, and then you'll have this like nice tight spread there. This is an okay mining camp. I think touching the corner here is probably your most optimal one, because then you get really efficient here, really efficient here, and really efficient there. Where, I mean, you still get good stuff out of this, but oof, I really don't like building buildings at the back. I feel like the Berryville should be making this on the front, especially the barracks too, because then you can build sort of like a supporting like layer of walls up here. But anyway, let's see who's going to be the castle first based on these really weird uptime builds. I think both of you should have made more builds in feudal, but that's just me. Oh, and you do it in the back too. Why in the back, man? This is arena. You want them towards the front. Okay, so a ton of wood, because you need more wood for your buildings, which you may have had more if you had your lumber camps a bit closer. I still think you could have abused the Celt's woodcutting bonus and just used one lumber camp, but that's just me. Good job on housing yourself. And you're going to be able to click up once this gets done, which is fine. It's going to be, what, like a 19-minute castle, looks like? Which isn't horrible, but I wouldn't say that's fast. Farm placement looking a little better. I don't think you're really using that. I mean, granted, I don't always use the perfect system either, but I think it's worth keeping in mind. But good work on cutting your stragglers and whatnot. But now that you're clicked up, I assume you'd want to shift more onto gold and probably take 1 or 2 off wood, because you got the chopping bonus. What is this? I don't know. Whatever. It works. Still curious to see what your play here is going to be. Oh, and then the other big arena thing is to do, even if you just like long range, send 4 bills to just selectively grab all 4 of those goats. Definitely want to do this. Really don't like the stables at the back, but whatevs. I'd say they should be up at the front. Same with this barracks and blacksmith. Okay, you're getting upgrades. So if you want to do double stable knights, you're going to need at least 10 on gold and probably about 18 on food. So this would be a good time to rebalance. You're also going to really want that mining camp upgrade, which I don't know if I saw you got. Man, I feel like the stone mining is like new bait. I don't think it's useful, especially since you are not mining any stone. So come on, Michael, like don't waste your res. Yeah, okay, good. Ideally, the gold one comes in as soon as you can after clicking the castle. And you delay the cab upgrades until after the eco upgrades are clicked up. But yeah, you're not going to have enough gold, I think, to run 2 stables. So these are going to be sitting super idle. You're wasting wood now. I'd say that probably instead of these 2 stables, build a market, so at least you can balance your eco a bit when you get up. Or even drop TCs, but I don't know. I don't see you using all these. I'll be impressed if you do, though. Alright, you're in castle. You got 3 stables. How many knights are we going to queue up? Alright, Bosa, legit. Couple vills. Oof, awkward TC. Let's get it touching, like down here maybe. Or actually, here's a nice spot too. Michael. At least you got some units queued up, and you got long swords coming in. Good TC, Michael. I like this one. Actually touching the res. Good improvement there. Okay. Yeah, definitely take the extra time to make sure your collection buildings are like actually touching whatever resource. Because you see now how far you have? You start with a 2 tile gap. They've done through 2 trees. Now it's a huge walk they're doing. And like once you clear these 2 trees, it's going to be again like a 2 to 3 tile walk for wherever they're going to go. Which just slows your whole pikes, bro. I mean, I guess it's a reasonable call to think that he's going to go cav, but I'd say until you see it, like just go pure longsword, because that's just going to like diminish your offensive potential. Like I'd say first one should be a ram and your longswords, and then just start punching the gate down and see what he has. But like right now he's got 3 stables, but he's got no military, so you're making this manga now, which is not going to help you get through the walls that quickly. And you got this pike upgrade for units you haven't even built yet. I'd say get those longsword numbers out. I didn't see if you got arson or not, but get arson. And then, yeah, push. Push with a ram, push with a bunch of longswords, chop the gate down, see what you can do. But we're just gonna hang out, build some farms. Yeah, I guess it was always this trade-off of like, you know, if you're gonna invest as much into military, you should like attack. But you've kind of done a bit of both. Like you're doing the TC booming, but you know, with a ram, you force him to respond and actually do something. So now he's got some units queued up here. But even still, like I'd say if you were actually building longswords, you could have, you know, 15, 16 by now, which against 5 knights, I think they're gonna win that. And then once you see the knights, then you can, you know, start bringing out the pikes. But the damage output of longswords is just, against anything other than cav, is just so much, like, more superior. I really think that should have been a barracks, but again, also, like, you can deal with knights with monks instead, so I feel like you're double covering what you need to do here. Okay, good. We got the ram now. Yeah, that TC should be right here on the edge. Alright, touching. Okay. I'm not sure what this guy's doing. Nor what this guy's doing. One thing which can be okay to do is to put your mangonels on no attack stance and then just have it here to support. Because, yeah, you don't want to murk your own troops, but hey, this is going to take forever. And please don't send your ram to attack the same spot, because then it's just going to get killed by your mangonel. So this is where having those buildings here could have helped you do like a second little layer of walls around here. So like if you had, you know, stable, barracks, market, blacksmith, so on and so forth, then this really doesn't matter and gives you, ooh, okay, are you damaging yourself? You're going to damage yourself. Oh boy. But now with the bills. Yeah, so this repairing the wall is not a bad idea, but I think what you really want to be doing is just like walling in behind. How is this battle going? 8 versus about 8. And once you start to fight, you should probably set your waypoint and be building more units like really close here. Do you clear this up? It looks like you've cleared this up. Oh shit, okay, you gotta kill those military units first. You should be okay still. Alright, let's go deal with this guy now. Alright. And I'd say also, like, you know, if you can, delete this wall here, because it'll give you all this extra farming space to use. And these houses, again, if they're all in the front, you've got space for farms. Oh my god, dude. Dude, how many stables? Dude, there's no way you're keeping these running. I mean, bro. Put your res into farms, man. You want to be up at, like, I don't even know how many farms you need to keep these pumping nights, and you definitely need more than 7 on gold. Just stick on 2 stables, man. Okay, here we go. Second layer of walls. It's coming up. You should always send the military, yeah, make sure. No, make these guys going first, dude. You want to check with your troops before you put your siege in, because, I mean, you will deal with this, but, like, you don't want to take too many free hits. You just send 1 pike forward first to see what's up, but like, I think your mangonel is gonna help out here, but let's see if you lose a ram before you respawn. I'd say you need your pikes here first. Okay, you're gonna deal with this, but like that's a lot of damage you didn't really need to take. Ooh, where are you going, girl? Man, de-pathing, right? What is this? And again, I wouldn't worry about trying to repair these things. I think the better strat is to try and wall in behind. Just to, again, it's a delaying game. You want to buy yourself time. With the stone thing, I would have it just 1 tile away. I really don't like this farm. I assume it's a... okay, it wasn't a misclick. Probably a misclick, but... Okay, the knights are coming. Oh, bud. Damn, friendly fire coming in hot. Okay. Don't think this is a fight you want to take with that many pikes there. I think this is where you start thinking about another unit type, and I think your go-to here is probably like 2 Scorpions and a Mangonel. Although, technically you have his Mangonels helping you out, but yeah, your Knights are so outnumbered here. But a couple Scorpions would really help. Put on stand ground, keep them towards the back. And then, yeah, in this case, ooh, I'd set your unit waypoint, like, back here, like, under your TC protection, because it looks like those guys were all waypointed forward and took a bunch of hits before they even started to fight. Which is just unfortunate. But yeah, these buildings, all these ones, nice little perimeter wall chunk here. Because, like, I'm not sure why he's not pressing forward, but Michael could super be pressing forward. I think what he wants to do probably is come push here, Mangonel this TC. Oh, that's so ballsy. That's never going to go, or at least I don't think it's going to go up. You'd be better off having it here so that it's at least your vills are under your TC protection. And then when those pikes come in, you can hit them with the TC fire. But yeah, with the Mangonels, it's going to be a tough one to get up. And you're going to really want to pull the boys if you're going to go, oh, you don't even have barding armor. Ooh, that doesn't help. But yeah, I'd say this castle probably needs to be right in there. And denied. Okay. Might have been something you wanted to think of putting up a little sooner. But yeah, I think one of the things here is just, yeah, vill numbers and having less on wood and more on gold. And then trying to use your wood for buildings that you're actually going to use. You should just delete this. Do you? I don't think you did. That's unfortunate. How you doing at home, Michael? You're expanding while you're under no... Oh, but refresh your wood lines. Refresh your wood lines. And... Come on, man. What does a mining camp cost you when you're floating 1k wood? I do like the repairing. I'd say if you're going to Mangonel this TC, you don't want to ram push it as well, because your Mangonels are just going to hit your rams here. Again, the castle, let's go ballsier, like right here. No, further forward. Oh, I guess you're still ranging the TC, but I think you could sit it right in here. Right in there. Are you going to destroy your rams? Okay, because somehow you mentioned not hit them. I thought you would at that range, but whatever. And now, since you cleared this down, your unit should be flooding into here. You try and take as much of this space as you can from him. Yeah, just send the swords. Keep your pikes near your siege. Hopefully closer to your siege, but this should be enough to keep him alive. And if you're doing a forward castle, I would highly recommend like 8 or more vills. Just because 3 is so easy to potentially pick off. I'd say the extra town center is not really worth it because you can't defend it from what's coming here. I think you need to come back, bring these vills all back into here and wall this side out. But at the same token, I don't think you're coming back from this. He's just got a little bit too much of a military advantage here. Because yeah, as soon as this goes up, there's gonna be rams on it before it goes up at this rate. Oh my god, this is getting denied. I'm assuming GG any moment here, but you never know. But I can't see your guys' viewpoints, but one thing I'm gonna guess is you guys aren't using a lot of hotkeys, so I would definitely try and spend some time looking at them. And I'd say the main ones you want to know are the QW for queuing units in your different production buildings, and then which ones are your select different production buildings, and which ones are your go-to different production buildings. I think you need the go-to and the select for your TCs, and then just the select for your other buildings. They're usually like control shift something, and that'll just be like select all barracks or select all stables. Probably should have gone that a lot sooner, but whatever. And then just with that, you can then, while looking one place, you can select buildings which are elsewhere and have them queue up units and set your rally points and all that kind of stuff. and it just keeps you focused on what you're doing while still being able to very easily, without too much distraction, keep your production numbers up. And then, yeah, probably just a word to be said about just like how many production buildings. It's definitely late game you want to spam stables, but in the early game, like Michael's only on 3 barracks, which is probably tons. He could probably, well, based on this, you could definitely ramp it up. You're just dicking around with text now. But yeah, I'd say those couple things. With Arena, again, just thinking about where to wall, and then making sure your resource buildings are right on the resources, typically. With gold and stone, there's the exception where you probably wanted a tile away, but with everything else, it should be touching. But good games, guys. It's looking better. Yeah. Yeah, well, good luck in your next games.